And we are live. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Let's get a quick little W in the chat if you can hear me. Let's see. Are we live? Hello, Freya. Hello, Hamza. Hello, Carmel. Hello, Hassan. Hello, Kurtso. Hello, Keaton, my friend. Hello, Alex. Hello, Benji. Hello, Imenez. Hello, Arka. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Anna, Arian, Uma, Heron, Asha, Zara, Tesni, Ossian, Inaya, Ishwar, Freya. Hey, guys. Welcome. How are we all doing? It's one hell of a day. The day before our GCSE Maths Paper 1. We've been waiting a while for this, haven't we, guys? We've been revising, we've been studying, we've been preparing, and today is the day before our exam. I'm going to be live all evening. We're going to be doing 4 hours together. We might even be doing 5. We're going to see how many people are with us towards the back end of the session, and if you guys want me to keep going, I might keep going until 10 p.m. Hello, Pause. Hello, Gala. Hello, Jiva. Hello, Ishwar, Anaya, Ossian, Tesni, Hamza. Guys, I have decided this evening that I'm going to be live on YouTube, but I'm not going to be live on TikTok. However, I am going to just start a TikTok live that I'm going to run separately to the YouTube one. So I'm not going to be doing it with software. They're not going to be able to see the screen. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. But they are going to see that I'm live. So basically, I'm just going to spend 20 seconds now setting this up. Could go really well. It could go not so well, but we're going to see. I'm going to just try it. And they're not going to be able to see the... Okay, anyway, let's just go. Go live. Bingo. Okay, fantastic. Back in the room then. Let me see who we have this evening. Who have we got? We have Haroon, we have Carmel, we have Tesni. Yes, fantastic, Inaya. So guys, we're going to be starting at 5:05. So we're going to be starting at 5 past. Let me just write this on the screen. Starting at 5 past, just to give people a chance to join, because I know some people are rushing back from school. Let's just have a quick moment in the chat. Guys, let me know, how did we find computer science today? Because I know some of you had computer science. I think some of you had RS. Let me know, guys. Leo says, when are we starting? We're going to be starting at 5 past. How was computer science? Okay, some of you are saying computer science was nice. Hey, nice, Tesni. Hello, Bronco. Yeah, some of you saying that you had geography today. How was geography, guys? Let me know. As always, guys, we have mixed opinions. Some people liked the computer science, some people didn't like it. Before we get going with the paper, guys, I just want to ask quickly one thing. And that is going to be, can you hear any background music? I'm not going to talk for 5 seconds. I'm going to ask you to turn your volume up to max. And I'm going to count down from 5 with my hand. And I want you to let me know if you can hear any background sound. Just because I want to make sure that everything is nice and crisp for you today. So, counting down from 5, we're going to go. Did you hear anything, guys? Let me know. Somebody is saying on TikTok that the sound is muffled. Guys, let me know on TikTok. Is the sound okay? Yeah, it is because I have the mic covered because my phone is propped up. Yeah. Okay, let me know now on TikTok, guys. Let me know now. It's because my phone is on a little stand. It should be better now. Is it better now on Tickers? A lot of you were saying it's bad. Is it still muffled? Let me know, guys. Oh, some of you are saying it's the same. Hey, that's so weird. Maybe if I turn my phone sideways, maybe this is going to be better. Let me know now, guys. I mean, if you are watching on the TikTok, the main thing to say anyway, guys, is come over to the channel. I shouldn't be saying this on a live because they're not going to like it that much. But basically, the main live, I can't do both at the same time. So the main one is over on the channel. So yeah, come over to the channel if you're currently watching on the tickers. Okay, guys, so nice to see there's about 300 of us. Now, before we get started, a little word on the structure of today's session. We're going to be revising for a long time. We're going to be revising for a long time. This live is going to be from 5 p.m. until either 9 p.m. or even 10 p.m. What that means is the best thing for us to do is not to just plow through as many questions as we possibly can. We're going to be focusing on high quality revision. I'm going to be giving you time to answer each of the questions before I go through them. So a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to be having a break every hour. So we're going to revise for an hour, then we're going to have a 10-minute break, then revise for an hour, we're going to have a 10-minute break. The way that we're going to make this beneficial for everybody is we're going to be doing questions of all different level difficulty. Even if you're aiming for a grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, it's still beneficial to work on some of the starter or questions at the start of the paper today. Why? Because we're going to be asked them tomorrow, and it's so easy to make silly mistakes in those high pressure scenarios. As I mentioned earlier, or as I mentioned yesterday actually, I'm also going to be doing some mindset and performance coaching with you all. One thing that I take very seriously, as well as the math side of preparing for exams, is also the mindset and the performance side of it. My background, the reason I started MyGCSEMaths is because basically I wanted to build the platform that 16-year-old Matt wishes he had. I went to a state school in special measures. It was a terrible experience, and my GCSEs was a really difficult time. So I basically had to self-teach my exams, self-study, self-learn, and I learned basically how to prepare for exams effectively and how to study effectively. Part of that actually included these performance techniques, which I'm going to share with you during the session, specifically at the end. We're going to go through a technique for boosting our energy in the morning. We're also going to go through a technique that you can use to calm anxiety before exams. One of the most important things tomorrow is going to be going in with a clear head. The way that we're going to do this is by using some breathing techniques, which you can do in the exam, right before the exam, which basically calm you down and make your mind clear. So that felt like a lot of waffle. That felt like a lot of ramble. Can I just ask on the TikTok, guys, is the audio better now? My phone's on its side. The audio should now be better. Just at least so that it's clear. Let me know, is the audio better? A lot of you are saying it's still muffled. That's so funny. I don't know why that is, guys. If I do this, sorry guys on the YouTube, we're going to be starting in just a moment. I just want to get set up. Guys, if I go like this, is it better now? Is it better? Okay, some of you are saying it's not better. Okay, guys, let me end the live and start it again. 1 sec. If you're watching on the YouTube, don't worry. We're starting in just 2 minutes. I just want to make sure that this is set up properly. Oh, I know why it was doing that, because it's connected to my speaker, because I was listening to some music before the session. Now it's going to be better. Yeah, that's going to be what it was. I had my Afro beats playing. I know it's going to be better now. Okay, team, let's get moving then. I know some of you are thinking, when is this guy going to start? We're going to start right now with question number 1. Work out 6.3 times by 2.4, multiplying decimals, a classic paper 1 topic, definitely good for us to go through. Huh? It's still the same. What? Maybe I have to, I know what it is. I know what it is. This is going to fix it. Bang. It's going to be better now. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for testing. Thank you for testing. Is it better now? Now it should be better. Yep, it's better. Guys, fantastic, fantastic. There we go. Okay, without further ado then, let's get cracking. Question number 1. Yeah. Better now. Yeah, better now. Fantastic. A lot of you are saying that you can't see the paper. Guys, channel. Come to the channel. Okay, question number 1. I can see a few answers going in the chat already. Let's get going then, guys. Question number 1. Question number 1. Work out 6.3 times by 2.4, an absolute classic multiplying decimals. How do we multiply decimals? The first thing that we need to do is we need to remove the decimal places. So we're going to rewrite this instead of 6.3 times 2.4 as 63 times by 24. We remove the decimal places. Next, we do our new multiplication, then we put those decimal places back in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write out our column method, 63 times by 24. I'm going to do 4 times by 3, that is going to be 12. I'm going to write in my 0 because the 6 is a column across. And I'm going to do 4 times by 6, that is going to be 24. Next up, we're going to do 2 times by 3, but because the 2 is a column across, we're going to write a 0 in. 2 times by 3, that is 6. Now 2 times 6, that is 12, but because they are both one column across, I'm going to write 2 zeros in, one for each of those. I'm going to draw my line. 2 plus a bunch of zeros is 2. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 6 is 11. Write in the 1, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6, plus... Oh, guys, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, I just confused myself with where I wrote that. Okay, there we go, my bad, don't know what I'm doing. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, and 1 plus nothing is just 1. Final stage, let's put those decimal places back in. We have 1,512, but we put 2 decimal places in because we have 2 numbers after the decimal point, so we're going to get 15.12. Okay, question 1 nailed. Let's move on to question number 2. Good work, Zaina. Good work, 123 Demestek. Good work, Bank. Good work, Benji. Good work, Arps. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. So, question number 2. And that, guys, is a little lesson in working under pressure. See how quickly I was writing? See how I was trying to talk, manage multiple different streams? And then I wrote the one in the wrong place just because I was moving so quickly. Guys, that is the kind of thing that you could do tomorrow in your exam. That is why the composure is so important. Okay, answers in the chat for question 2a then, part I. Write down the value of 5 to the power of 0. Any number to the power of 0, yep, good work, X, good work, Keaton. Any number to the power of 0 is 1, so 5 to the power of 0 is 1. What about 2II? Write down the value of 5 to the power of negative 2. What do we think, guys? Part II. Who's going to be first in the chat? Let's see. There we go. Alex was first in the chat. Nice Jatura. Nice HTTP. Nice Gabby. Nice. Yep, exactly, guys. So, how do we deal with negative powers? Now, the secret with negative powers is that whenever we have a negative power, we have to do 1 over whatever it otherwise would have been. So in this case, 5 to the power of negative 2 would be 1 over 5 to the power of 2. Now 5 to the power of 2 is 5 squared. So we do 5 squared, and that is 25, giving us 1 over 25 as our value of 5 to the power of negative 2. Next up, team, let's have a look at 2b. Right, 2 to the power of 5 times by 2 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 3 in the form 2 to the power of n, where n is an integer. Guys, I'm just going to quickly close the window because I saw a bunch of pigeons just fly past, and the last thing I need during this stream is a pigeon flying through the window. That would ruin our day big time, big time. So what do we think, guys? I can see a few answers in the chat. ALP, Heron, Eben, Arian, Tesney. Yep, guys, fantastic. Tesney said that would be so funny. Believe me, you don't want to see me running around the flat trying to grab a pigeon during a live stream. That's not what you want to see the day before your exam, although it would be quite funny. So how are we going to do this one then? To be honest, guys, this is a classic type of question, which has been coming up quite a lot in recent years. Write 2 to the power of 5 times by 2 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 3 in the form 2 to the power of n, where n is an integer. So this is a classic laws of indices question, simplifying indices question. We need to do our 2 to the power of 5 times by our 2 to the power of 4. When we have a base to a power times by the same base to another power, we add the powers together. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 9 on the top, and then over 2 to the power of 3 on the bottom. Now, what does it mean when we have a fraction like this? It would actually mean that we're dividing the top by the bottom. So we're going to do 2 to the power of 9 divided by 2 to the power of 3. When we have a base to a power and we divide it by the same base to another power, we subtract those powers. 9 take away 3 is 6. So we get 2 to the power of 6. Good job, guys. Nicely done if you got it. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, question 3 is our next one. Write 156 as a product of its prime factors. Guys, can you please let me know, do we have any annoying background sound from my dishwasher? I didn't expect the dishwasher to start at this time, but I can hear it whirring away in the background. It's a little bit distracting, but hopefully you guys can't hear it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go and sort it out. I do have a noise cancelling mic, so you shouldn't be able to hear it, but if you could, that I would just go and have to sort it out real quick. Okay, fantastic, guys. You can't hear it. Brilliant. Product of its prime factors. This one is another classic, to be honest, in our paper 1, foundation and higher. We need to write 156 as a product of its prime factors. Let's get an answer in the chat for me. Let me see actually if I can put a little badge on the TikTok to say. There we go. I don't know if I can make the sticker any bigger. Yeah, there we go. That should make it clear. There we go. Okay then, guys, question number 3. How are we going to do this? 156 as a product of its prime factors. In order to do this, we need to use our factor tree. We're going to write 156 at the top, and then we're going to break it down into smaller and smaller factors until all that we are left with is our prime numbers. Now, the easiest way to do this is to start off by dividing our number by 2. So we can write this as 2 times by 78, and then we circle the 2 because it's a prime number. Remember, guys, our prime numbers are our numbers with exactly 2 factors. The first few prime numbers, for example, would be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and so on. Now we can break the 78 down. We can halve it again. We can do 2, circle it because it's prime, times by 39. And then we can write the 39 as 3 times by 13. And now, because these are both prime numbers, we can circle them both. Now, let's go back to the question. It says write it as a product of its prime factors. So we can just multiply all of our circled numbers together. What is that going to give us, guys? That is going to give us 2 times by 2 times by 3 times by 13. Now, crucially, they could also ask you to do this, giving your answer either in index form or in power form. Then we would need to bring together our 2 times 2 and write it as 2 squared. So we have 2 squared times by 3 times by 13. Now, part B. Find the highest common factor of 156 and 130. How do we do this? Well, the fact that we have already done a prime factorization or drawn out our factor tree for 156 kind of suggests that they want us to do this using a factor tree. Now, there's 2 different ways to do this. Finding the highest common factor, the highest number, which is a factor of both of our numbers. Well, the way that we could do that is we could just work out all of the factors, then find the highest one, which is a factor of both of them. However, there's a quicker way to do it, the Venn diagram method. How do we do it? Well, we do firstly a prime factorization of the 156, which we've done. And then we do a prime factorization of our other number, 130. So we can split 130 up. We can write it firstly as 13. 13 times by 10. We circle the 10 because it's a prime number. And then we can split the 10 down into 2 times by 5. And we're going to circle them both because they're both prime. The next thing that we do is we draw a nice little Venn diagram and we put our factors of our 130 and our 156 in the Venn diagram. The numbers which are factors of both we put in the middle. The factors of only 130 we put on the left, and only 156 we put on the right. So we can see that we have a factor of 2 in both of them. So I'm going to write that one in the middle. We have a 2, and I'm going to cross it out once I've included it. We can see that we have a factor of 13 in both of them. So I'm going to write that one in the middle as well. We can see that we have an extra 2 and an extra 3 in 156. They're on in the 130, and then we have an extra 5 in the 130, which isn't in the 156. So this is our Venn diagram. And then from there, what can we do? Well, to find the highest common factor, we have to multiply the numbers on the inside of both of our circles. So we can see that we have a 2 and a 3 here. So we're going to do 2 times by 3, which is going to give us our highest common factor of 26. Guys, how would we, let me know in the chat, how would we work out the lowest common multiple of all of them? How would we work out the lowest common multiple of all of them? Let's see. There you go, that guy, Jay, you got it. Yeah, Mooney S4RC, that's the best one I've seen yet. Multiply all of them. Exactly, we would multiply all of the numbers in the Venn diagram. So we would do 5 times by 2, which would be 10, times by 13, which would be 130, times by 2, which would be 260, times by 3, which would be 60, plus 18, so 780. That would be the lowest common multiple. Okay, question number 4 up next. This is our next one, guys. What's it going to be? Now, I'm going to check in with the chat for the first time in a while. How can I make it a bit clearer? Yeah, okay. Guys, I'm going to officially end the TikTok one. If you're currently watching, the main live is over on the YouTube, so go and join over there. Now I can focus in. See you soon, guys. Well, guys, now I feel like I can breathe. That was stressful. I can't lie. Doing the TikTok live in a weird way, plus having the YouTube one open, to be honest, was stressful. Now I'm chilling. I don't know if you guys could tell, those of you who are normally in my streams, but I was like juggling the two a little bit and it was a bit weird. But now we're in, fully focused on the YouTube, ready to lock in. Okay, question 4. Let's get it done. I know that was probably really weird, by the way, seeing me talk to my phone. That was super weird, but guys, we're back. We're back. Question 4, our toughest one yet. Let's see. For everybody who's engaged, can we quickly get a W in the chat so I can see who my regulars are, so I can see who's here, and then we're going to proceed. Now I need to do double inhale, exhale after trying to run that live as well. Seth is here. Moinaim is here. Yes, fantastic, guys. Brilliant Musa, brilliant Umar, brilliant Fatima, brilliant Wajad, brilliant Hassan, Shadow Hunter. Things we love to see. Question number 4, guys. Drop your answer in the chat for me when you're ready with this one. Nice soft. Nice GCSE stud. Nice Josh. Nice Carmel. Wonderful. This one is our toughest one yet, guys. In fact, I'm going to give a bit of a hint for this one. I'm going to give a bit of a hint. So the question says that the mean length of 5 sticks is 4.2. And then it says Narval measured the length of one of the sticks and it was 7 centimeters. Work out the mean length of the other 4 sticks. Now, this is a bit of a combination of different techniques, but let's break it down. If we need to work out the mean length of the other 4 sticks, what do we need? Well, how do we work out the mean? The mean is going to be the total length the total length divided by the number of sticks. So in order to work out the mean length of the other 4 sticks, we need to work out the total length of the sticks and divide it by the number that we have. Now, we're working out the mean length of the other 4 sticks, so we're going to divide it by 4. But the tricky part of this then is going to be working out, well, what is the total length of those 4 sticks? That is going to be my hint so far. Maybe that helps. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you're still sitting there thinking, come on, man, show me how to do it. Here's another hint. To work out the total length of the 5, well, we can do the 5 times by the average of 4.2. If we have 5 sticks at the moment, and each of them on average is 4.2, to work out the total of the 5, we can do 5 times by 4.2. So I'm going to say that the total of the 5 is going to be equal to the mean of the 5, which is 4.2, times by the fact that there is 5 of them. Now 4.2 times by 5. 4 times by 5 is 20. 0.2 times by 5 is 1, so this is going to be 21. The other way to do that would have been to have done 42 times by 5, then to put a decimal place back in, or to divide by 10. So the total of the 5 was 21. The total of the 4 is going to be, total of the 4, well, this is going to be the 21 that we did have minus that 7. Minus that 7, which is going to be 14. So we now know that the 4 sticks have a total length of 14. And to work out the mean of the other 4, we can do 14 divided by 4. Now the easiest way to do this is going to be to firstly simplify the fraction. We can divide the top and bottom both by 2. On the top we're going to get 7, and on the bottom we're going to get 2. And then we can do 7 divided by 2, which would be 3.5. You could also leave your answer as 7 over 2. That would be absolutely fine. That would be absolutely fine. Good job, Jaturna. Good job, Heron. Good job, Aryan. Good job, Musa. Good job, Anaya. Fantastic, guys. Now it says Narwhal made a mistake. The stick was not 7 centimeters long. It was actually 17 centimeters long. How does this affect your answer to part A? What do you think, guys? Let me know in the chat. How does this affect our answer to part A? Would it be bigger? Would it be smaller? What do we think? Okay, some of you are saying it would increase. Some of you are saying it would decrease. Okay, we have different answers. Okay, some people saying increase, some people saying decrease. So let's have a think about this. If we now made the total of the other ones smaller, so think about it. If the one that we took away was 7, what we did was we did 21 minus 7, that gave a total of 14, and then we did 14 divided by 4, 14 divided by 4, which gave 7 over 2, or 3.5. Now, if this other stick was longer, so we're taking away a longer one, what that means is that there's less of this total, there's less of the total for the other 4 sticks to share between them. So the other sticks would now be shorter. Because if the total of all of the sticks is 21, and now the stick that we removed takes up 17 of them, there would be less centimeters to share between those other sticks. So we're going to say the other sticks would be shorter. The other sticks would be shorter. Hopefully that one makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Good job, Musa. Good job, Mercy. Yeah, fantastic. Question 5 we're going to skip, guys, because it's just not very practical to do here. Question 6 is a great little question. Question 6 is a great little question. Nice question to go through ahead of tomorrow. Definitely a little bit of problem solving. A geometry problem solving question where we have to use ratios in our shape to come up with expressions for our angles. Guys, I'm just going to stand up and I'm going to have a stretch. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see me. There we go. Whilst you're putting your answers in the chat for this one, guys, whilst you're thinking about it, let me know, how are we feeling about tomorrow? How are we feeling about tomorrow? Are we a bit nervous? Are we excited? Are there any particular topics that you would like me to go through this evening? Because I'm also considering after 9 o'clock, going a little bit longer and teaching some specific topics, if that's what you guys want. Yeah, exactly. Lots of you are saying you're scared. Now, the first piece of mindset advice that I'm going to give this evening, guys. Yeah, a lot of you are saying that you're scared. Yeah. So my first piece of mindset advice, guys, is this. Look at the fact that everybody is scared. Look at the fact that everybody is scared. There's 500 of us on the stream, 520. What does it mean that everybody's scared? What it means is this, guys, it's a natural human reaction. We evolved to kind of hunt and live in the wild. We didn't evolve for this, modern world with exams and, schoolwork and all of these things. Now, our bodies, when they're getting ready to do something, when they're getting prepared for action, what they do is they fill our nervous system and our body full of this energy, full of this anxious energy. Sometimes it feels like you have like a ball in your stomach, right? This is a gift from your body to give you more energy to perform well, believe it or not. What this is showing, this nervousness, this, scared feeling, is that you care about tomorrow, and it's your body boosting your energy so that you have enough energy to do your best in the exam, to perform at your best. Now, the reason that it's annoying and the reason that it doesn't feel like that is because previously, 1,000 years ago, when we felt like this, when we were ready for action, it was a physical thing that we had to do. We had to run away from a lion, or we had to run to catch a lion, or we had to climb a tree, or we had to do something physical. So it primes our body to perform something physically. But we're performing something mentally. We have exams nowadays, not running away from lions or, running after a deer or something. So it can feel a bit weird, it can feel a bit uncomfortable. But the thing to lean into is the fact that this feeling is a gift from your body. It's here from your body to boost your energy. So if you navigate it in the right way, what it does is it actually increases your performance tomorrow in a way that you won't have done in any past papers up until this point. Mia says, I'd rather run away from a deer. Yeah, I know a lot of people are feeling that way. But this feeling is a great feeling because if it's navigated correctly, it massively amplifies your performance. And I'm going to teach you how to do that this evening. It's one of the techniques that I use whenever I do public speaking or a pitch or something like that. And it's really valuable for exams. Okay, question number 6 though. Let's get back to the maths because I know some of you are just here for that. How are we going to do this one? The question says, the diagram shows an isosceles triangle, ABD, and a straight line, ABC. We're told that BA is equal to BD, so BA is equal to BD, and we're given these two lines here, which signifies that it's an isosceles triangle. Then we're told that the ratio of x to y is 2 to 1. Now, as soon as I see this, and as soon as I see my shape, I'm instantly thinking, how does this fact translate into the shape? Well, here we go. If the ratio of x to y is 2 to 1, what does it mean? Oh, let me just make this really clear. It means that x is 2, let me write it with a 2, x is 2 times y. Now, what does that mean? Well, another way of saying 2 times y is x is 2y. Now, how can we use that? Well, what we can do is we can actually swap this x here for a 2y. We can swap this x here for a 2y. Now, what else can we do? We need to work out w, right? Now, angles on a straight line add to 180. So if I can work out y, then I can work out w by subtracting it from 180. How can I use the fact that I have an isosceles triangle? Well, we know that angles at the base of an isosceles triangle are equal. So these are both 2y. Now, how can we use that? Well, we also know that the angles in a triangle add up to 180. Now we have all of the angles in our triangle in terms of y. So we can do 2y plus 2y plus y, set that equal to 180, and now we can solve this equation to work out y. 2y plus 2y plus y is 5y, so 5y equals 180. Now we can divide both sides by 5 to work out y. So we have 180 in our bus stop, divide it by 5, 5's into 1, 0 remainder 1, 5's into 18, 3 remainder 3, 5's into 30 is 6, so we have y is equal to 36. Now, final stage, we said that the angles on a straight line add to 180. So to work out w, we can do 180 minus y, we can do w equals 180 minus 36, and 180 minus 36 is 144. 144. Guys, good job if you got it. Next up, question number 7. This is a good one. Again, great question to practice ahead of tomorrow. VVZZ says, sounds so simple now. How is that possible? Guys, that's what we're here for. The main thing tomorrow is going to be being in the right mindset, and specifically being in that problem-solving mindset. I've selected the 2 papers that we're doing this evening. We're doing November 2023 and November 2024 because they include a lot of problem-solving questions. They include a lot of the topics that I think are likely to come up tomorrow, a lot of the classic paper 1 topics, but also based on previous years, what I think is likely to come up. A lot of you asked whether I did predicted papers, predicted topics. I haven't done that. The main reason is because nobody can predict the topics. Lots of people already make predicted papers, predicted topics, and that's fine. But for me personally, I like to say focus on your past papers. If you do a past paper 1, it has pretty much the same predictive accuracy as a predicted paper 1. And it just adds another step, and the questions aren't worded in exactly the same way. The level of problem solving isn't the same, which is why past papers is the way to go. Okay. Question 7. Let's get a quick ready in the chat for me, guys. When you're ready for me to go through it, I do want to give enough time. Okay, I'm just going to turn my speaker back on because I much prefer it with some music on. Okay, guys, just give me 1 sec. Hopefully my phone will connect. My Bluetooth is off. What do we think, team? I can see a few answers going in the chat. We have a few 300s. I can see why you went for 300, but it's actually not 300. What do we think, guys? Okay, fantastic. Quite a few people putting answers in now. Quite a few people not sure as well. A couple of people are asking for a hint. Actually, I've given a bit long for this one, so I'm not going to give a hint. I'm just going to go through it. I think we're ready. Yep, a few answers going in. Question number 7, team. Let's get it done. It says Mano has 3 shelves of books. There are X books on shelf A, there are 3X plus 1 on shelf B, there are 2X minus 5 on shelf C, there is a total of 44 bucks on the three shelves. Guys, I've not even read the question yet, but I know I'm going to have to add all of these up to work out my total number of bucks, set it equal to 44, and solve for x. And I've not even read the question yet. All of the bucks have the same mass. The bucks on shelf B have a total mass of 7,500. So I know that I'm going to work out my number of bucks on shelf B, set it equal to 7,500, or times by the mass of the individual ones. And then total mass on shelf A is what we need. Once we have the mass of 1 buck and the value of x, we can work that out. So step number 1, let's find our value of x. We know there's a total of 44 bucks. We know that there's x on shelf A. We know that there's 3x plus 1 on shelf B. And we know that there's 2x minus 5 on shelf C. And this is equal to 44. Now we have an equation which we can solve for x. X plus 3x is 4x, plus 2x is 6x. 1 minus 5 is minus 4, and this is equal to 44. Now we have an equation which we can rearrange and solve for x. I'm going to start off by adding 4 to both sides. So I'm going to go plus 4 and plus 4. We're going to get 6x is equal to 48. Next step, to get the x on its own, divide both sides by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6. We're going to get that x is equal to 8. Now let's go back. We've been told that the total mass of the ones on shelf B are 7,500. Well, we can work out the number of bucks. It's going to be 3x plus 1. So shelf B has 3 times by 8 plus 1. 3 times by 8 is 24, so 24 plus 1, that is 25, so 25 bucks. And now we can split this 7,500 grams between the 25 bucks. So now to work out the mass of a buck, we do the mass 7,500 divided by 25. Now there are different ways to do this, but the nicest way is going to be to recognize that 75 divided by 25 is 3. 75 divided by 25 is 3. And then we add the 2 zeros on, so we have 300 there, 300. Now we have the mass of 1 buck. So this is the mass of 1 buck. We can multiply this by the number of bucks on shelf A, which is x, to work out the mass of the bucks on shelf A. X was 8, so we can do 8 the number of bucks times by 300 to work out the total mass. 8 times by 3 is going to be 24. Add the 2 zeros on. We're going to have 2,400 grams as our answer. Now, really important, guys, a pro tip for tomorrow, look down at your units. They could have said right here in kilograms. In kilograms, and they could have put kilograms down here. Guys, let me know in the chat, what would it have been if it was in kilograms? Another topic quite likely to come up tomorrow. What would the answer have been if it was in kilograms? Unit conversions. Yeah, there you go, Josh. There you go, Keizo. Fantastic, guys. Yep, 2.4, exactly, 2.4. Why 2.4? Well, there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So if we divide our 2,400 by 1,000, we move the decimal point 3 places, we get 2.4. Good work, everybody. Question number 8 up next. This is a good one for us to go through. Let's do it. Okay. All right. Thank you for the good vibes, Amelie. What topic is this one, first of all, guys? Question number 8. Guys, please, nobody ask to be a mod. just because it's a bit distracting in the chat. Yeah, there you go, Reviz. There you go, guys. Good job, Gabby. Good job, Wavad. Let's do it, guys. No worries, Amelie. Let's do it then, guys. Question number 8. It says the normal price of a mattress is reduced by 40% in a sale. The price of the mattress in the sale is £660. Work out the normal price of the mattress. Now, this is one, guys, which people get wrong so often. If you're not sure how to do it, after this, hopefully we're going to make it clear. Now, why is this one tricky? It doesn't give us the initial price and ask us to increase or decrease by 40%. It tells us that it's been reduced by 40% and asks us to find the original. Now, the way that we do this is we start off by recognizing what percentage of the original price we have now. What percentage do we have? We start off with 100% of the original. We've reduced it by 40%, so we have now 60% of the original. We have 60% of the original. And in fact, we know that 60% of, I'm going to call it O, well, I'll actually write it properly. So 60% of the original is £660. And we need to find 100% of the original. We need to find 100% of the original. Now, the best way to do this is going to be to firstly work down to 10% by dividing our 60% by 6. So we get 10% of the original. And what's 660 divided by 6? You could do this using the bus stop method. 660 divided by 6, we get 110. So it's going to be £110. And then we times by 10 to get from 10% to 100%. And that is going to be 1,100 as our answer. 1,100 as our answer. Any questions, guys? Let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we will move on to our next one. Or we're going to move on anyway. I'm going to skip this one because it's a bit awkward to do. Question 10 is a good one. Guys, I'm going to actually ask quickly, and I'm just going to ask you what you think of the pace so far. What you think of the pace so far. How are you finding the pace? We could speed up a bit. We could slow down a bit. We're definitely not going to slow down a bit, actually. It's perfect. Slow down, please. Speed up, please. There we go. Polls going in the chat, guys. Let me know. Question 10 is our next one. We have all different abilities. Wow, we're currently paired or tied at the moment between perfect and speed up. 20% of people are saying slow down as well. Okay, most people are saying that it's perfect. Honestly, guys, we're going to speed up a bit naturally because, to be honest, I was a bit stressed at the start of the session trying to balance the other live stream that I had on my phone with you guys, the main live stream. Now I'm back in my element. I'm chilled out again. So we're going to speed up a bit. And I'm still going to give you time. We still want to make this as high quality as possible, but it just means that I'm going to have to, I'll be less distracted trying to sort things out. Aha, very nice shout, Harris. Pin a message for new viewers. I'm going to start with welcome. I'm going to start with welcome. Live is 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. We'll do 2 higher papers. We're going to start with that, and then I'm going to make it a bit nicer later. Okay, question number 10. Let's get it done, guys. This one's been on the screen for a while. And have I seen any answers in the chat? GCSE Stud has gone for 25 pi. Soft has gone for 25 pi. Let's see, let's see. Low-key Mia, is going to be good to have you back later. Good work, Lucia. Okay, guys. Many different answers in here. If you don't get this right, but it makes sense for you after I go through it, please let me know. Please let me know. Question number 10. It says the circumference of a circle is 10 meters. Work out the area of the circle. Give your answer in terms of pi. Now, the tricky thing here is that we haven't been told the radius. You know, when we work out the area of a circle, we use the formula, right? The area equals pi r squared. But we don't know the radius, we know the circumference. So what we need to do is we need to set up an equation, rearrange it to work out the radius, and then sub that in for our area. Now, how do we work out circumference? Circumference is 2 pi r. Let me just write that down. Circumference is 2 pi r or pi d. So we're going to say that 2 pi r is equal to 10. Now I'm going to rearrange this to work out the value of r so that we can plug it into here. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to get pi times by radius equals 5. And then to get the r on its own, I'm going to divide both sides by pi. And I'm going to get that my radius is equal to 5 over pi, 5 divided by pi. Now I can plug this into my formula over here. So I can say that my area is equal to pi times by 5 over pi squared. Now this, guys, is really, really important. Why have I put my 5 over pi in brackets? Well, we need to square the whole of the radius. The radius itself is 5 over pi, so we need to square the top and the bottom. Simplifying this, we're going to get pi times by, on the top, 5 squared is 25. On the bottom, pi times pi is pi squared. Next step, we're going to combine these into one fraction. Well, pi, we times this by a fraction, just like we times any number by a fraction. The nicest way to do it, or the quickest way to do it, is to just put the pi on the top. So it's 25 pi over pi squared. But why is that? That's because pi is like pi over 1. And then we do top times top and bottom times bottom. We get 25 pi over pi squared. And now to simplify, we can divide the top and bottom both by pi because they have a common factor of pi. On the top, we're going to be left with just 25. So we have 25 over. On the bottom, pi squared divided by pi. That's just going to be pi. So we get our answer of 25 over pi. Guys, good job if you got it. We're going to move on to our next one. Any questions for that one, let me know. And make sure you let me know in the chat if it makes sense now. Put a little comment for me saying makes sense now. Hey, nice to see 700 of us. Guys, if you're currently watching on the vertical stream on YouTube, I have 2 streams running. I have a vertical stream on YouTube and a horizontal stream also on YouTube. So if you're watching on the vertical, come over to the horizontal. Actually, let me put that on the YouTube vertical because I know some people are going to be watching it on the vertical. Let me put the next question on the screen. We're going to skip this one. We're going to go through question 12 next. Then I'm going to add a quick tag for anybody watching text. Let's go new. Live on horizontal 2. Go on my live on YouTube. Horizontal 2. Okay, that should be clear enough. That is white for some reason. Let's just change the color quickly. We'll go for black, and we'll go for black. There we go, a little banner going on there now. Let me just make it bold as well. Select font. Bold. There we go. Live on YouTube, horizontal 2. Let me make it a bit bigger. 3 marks up for grabs, guys, on question number 12. Maybe we'll see now an influx of people who were watching on the other live. Love karaoke, more power, more blessings. Good to have you back. I remember you from last year. Guys, is it confusing having the 2 streams? I don't want having the vertical one to confuse people. And maybe it's confusing people. I can close that stream down maybe. Okay, there's actually 250 of us watching on the vertical stream as well. Guys, if you are watching on the vertical, come over to the horizontal. It's a better setup than the vertical one. Even if you're on your phone, the horizontal one is still better. Okay, some of you are saying it does confuse. Some people are saying, okay, you're saying that it is confusing. Kira said it's low-key good because I was scrolling and then on shorts and then saw it. That's kind of why I did it. So I'm going to say, okay, so guys, if you are watching, the horizontal stream is the main one. The vertical one is a secondary one, just so that people see it if they're scrolling, basically. Let's get an answer in the chat when you're ready. Nice FPL post in there with a chat, or in there with an answer. Nice Claudia Logan, or Claudia, Claudia. Fantastic, guys, fantastic. Hyperfocus, good to have you back. Guys, question number 12. Let's get it done. It's a good little question. Again, it's a likely one for tomorrow. Question 12. The straight line L has equation 2y equals 3x minus 7. Find an equation of the straight line that is perpendicular to L that passes through 6 minus 5. So this is a classic technique, guys. It's hard. Not many of you are going to know it, but it's a classic technique. It's quite likely to come up. This is finding the equation of a line from a point and a gradient. What we basically do is we use this line, which is perpendicular, to work out the gradient of our line, and then we use the point to find the equation. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to find the gradient of line L. So I'm going to do line L, and this line has equation 2y equals 3x minus 7. Now, some of you will think that the gradient of this line is 3, but it's actually not. Why not? Well, the general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, not 2y. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get the y on its own. So I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by 2. I'm going to get y equals 3 over 2 x minus 7 over 2. We can just write as 7 over 2, or we could write it as 3.5. Now that we have the gradient of the perpendicular line, we can work out the gradient of our line. The gradient of our line. Now, what do we know, guys, about perpendicular lines? We know that the gradients are the negative reciprocal of each other. Well, if the gradient of this line is 3 over 2, to find the negative reciprocal, we do minus, and then we flip the fraction to 2 over 3. So the gradient of our line is negative 2 over 3. Now what we can do is we can write out what we know so far about our line. Y equals minus 2 over 3, our gradient, x plus c. Final step to work out the equation then. Now we plug in the point for x and for y and find c. So we know that when x is 6, y is minus 5. So minus 5 equals minus 2 over 3 times 6 plus c. Minus 5 equals 2/3 of 6 is 4. So minus 4 plus c. Now we add 4 to both sides. Minus 1 equals c. Now that we have the value of c, we can plug it into our equation. So we plug it in up here. C is minus 1. So we get our answer of y equals minus 2 over 3x minus 1. And that, guys, is our answer. If you got it, nicely done. If you understand it now, guys, please let me know in the chat. Uke says, why did you do the negative reciprocal? The reason that we did the negative reciprocal, guys, is because the lines are perpendicular. Perpendicular lines meet at a right angle, and the gradients are negative reciprocals of one another. Guys, we are now officially 1 hour into our live, so we're going to take a quick break. Now, I'm going to put in the chat, would you like a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break this time round? This one is the only one that I'm going to give you a choice. After this one, it's going to be 10-minute breaks. We can either do 5 minutes or 10 minutes. How long of a break would you like? I'm going to go with the majority, guys, just to pre-warn everybody. We're either going to go for 10 minutes or we're going to go for 5 minutes. The live stream this evening, guys, is 4 hours long. We need to make sure that we prioritize having high energy for tomorrow. The worst thing you could do this evening is to revise for 4 hours straight, to exhaust yourself, and then to go into tomorrow tired. The most important thing we want to do is to get our minds in the right place to be fresh for tomorrow. That means that we need to be strategic with our time this evening. It's close. We have, okay, guys, 300 votes and there's 800 people watching. It's close at the moment. 63% are saying 5 minutes. 37% are saying 10 minutes. Guys, what's the time now? Okay, it's 1 minute past now. We're going to meet halfway. It's not actually halfway, but we're going to start again at 7 minutes past. We're going to start again at 7 minutes past. So I'm just going to write on the top, we're having a break. Guys, before you go as well, I'm going to ask you for a quick favor before you go. Make sure you get a drink of water, by the way. Back at 6. Okay, because it's 6, I'm actually going to do to 08. Back at 6:08 p.m. Fantastic. Guys, quick little favor that I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you, if this session has been helpful so far, to leave a quick little Trustpilot review. It would really help me out, and it's going to allow me to keep doing some of these free sessions. To make it as easy as possible, this QR code that my head is blocking should take you to leaving a Trustpilot review. And if you guys could leave a Trustpilot review, I would be super, super grateful. If you could just, it only takes 2 minutes. You can scan the QR code on your phone. If you're not going to do it on your phone and instead you would like to do it on your computer, I'll put a link in the chat and I will pin it. There we go. Let's see. Replace pin message. There we go, guys. The link does say something about it being unsafe, but you can see on the link that it's trustpilot.com. So it's obviously legit. I'm not trying to scam you all. Guys, I'm going to say cowabunga. I'll be back at 6:08. If you could leave a review, obviously I would be super grateful. Enjoy your break. Go get a glass of water. Get a cup of tea if you want. And I'll see you very soon. Bye for now. And we are back. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? That was a short break, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Did the review link work? I thought I should have tested it before I left. GCSE Stud said, bro spawned in again. Yeah, man, we're back. We're back. Yeah, I think you guys are saying that it worked. Lucas says, can I get a shout out? Absolutely, you can. Guys, quick poll as well. I'm very interested. Are you guys on laptops or phones? What device are you on? Phone, laptop. I also haven't said this, guys, yet, but if you can like the stream, obviously, that will be super helpful. Show a little love, drop a little like on there, drop a little subscribe if you haven't already. That would be wicked. I'm hoping most of you are on laptops. Laptop is the place to go. Maybe some of you are on an iPad, actually. Of course, iPad. Jack Morris is apparently watching it on his toilet. I don't know. You got a fancy toilet if it can play videos. Maybe you're sitting on the toilet, which, you know, each to their own, man. Each to their own. You do you, but hopefully you're not going to be on there for the whole 4 hours. That'd be difficult. That would be tough. Not very healthy. Okay, guys, question 13. Let's get cooking. This is a good one. Again, another topic which is really important to go through ahead of tomorrow. Oh, I didn't take the QR down. That's my bad. There we go. Oh, VO1 is watching on the TV. We're going to do something fun later, guys, at the end of the stream. Oh, the wind just blew the window shut. That was a bit unexpected. Yeah, we're going to do something fun at the end of the stream later, guys. We're going to do setup photos. Guys, I'm just going to lock the window. Okay, question 13, really important one for tomorrow. A topic which a lot of people miss in their revision. Tyler says, can we have a hint, please? My hint, guys, is we need to work out the volume ratio. We have the ratio of the heights, which is the ratio of the lengths. We need to work out the volume ratio. That's my hint. Okay, I'll give a bit more of a hint because a lot of people are asking for one. So this topic is similar lengths, areas, and volumes. And it's a topic which a lot of people still won't know. If you're in that group, it's absolutely fine. How do we do it? Well, we've been told the ratio of the heights of A to B. Now, a height, if you think about it, let's say we have a triangle, a height is a length. It's a length. It's not an area. It's not a volume. So basically, we've been given the ratio for the lengths of A to the lengths of B. The ratio of the lengths is 2 to 5. We've also been told the volume of B. So we need to work out the ratio in the volumes, and then we can use that ratio to work out, we've been told the volume of A, and we need to work out the volume of B. So we can put the volume of A into the ratio and figure it out that way. So how do we go from the ratio of the lengths to the ratio of the areas and the ratio of the volumes? Well, to go from lengths to areas, we have to square the ratio. A lot of people actually don't know this topic, so I'll go through it in a bit of detail. So if we wanted to work out the ratio of the area of shape A to the area of shape B, we would square the 2 and we would square the 5. So it would be 4 to 25. If we wanted to work out the ratio for the volumes, so the volume of A to the volume of B, we would have to square the ratio for the lengths. So we would do 2 cube, not square, sorry, I think I said square, I meant cube. So we would do 2 cubed. We'd have to cube the lengths. So 2 cubed to 5 cubed. 2 cubed is 8. 5 cubed is 125. So if we have the ratio for the lengths, we can work out the ratio for the areas by squaring it, the ratio for the volumes by cubing it. If we were told the ratio for the areas, which happens a lot, and we need to work out the ratio for the volumes, we go from the areas to the lengths by square rooting it first, and then we cube it to get to the volumes. Or if we want to go from volume to area, we have to cube root the ratio to get back to lengths, and then square the ratio to get to areas. Now that we have the ratio for the volumes, we can say, okay, well, the ratio is 8 to 125, but actually the volume of A is 12. So we can plug a 12 in there, and we can say, okay, well, what would the volume of B be if the volume of A was 12? We've scaled up our ratio. How do we get from 8 to 12? We times it by 1.5, or we times it by 12 over 8. So we have to do the same with the 125. Now to do 125 times by 1.5, we can just work out half of 125 and add that on. So half of 125, that would be 62.5. And then we're going to add that on. That would be 187.5. You guys can do that using column multiplication, subtraction, division, whatever you want to do, instead of doing it in your head. But basically, we would get 187.5 as our answer. Let me know, guys. Does that make sense now after I went through it? I know a lot of you won't have known that going into it. Yeah, good job, guys. 187.5 for those of you who did do it. Yeah, good work, guys. A lot of you are saying that you understand it now. I want to say, guys, if I do ask in the chat if people understand it now, and you do understand it now, fantastic, great, put it in the chat. If I say that, but you still don't understand it, please don't panic. In general, there's 1,000 people on the stream right now. Some of you are going to understand it when I go through it, some of you won't. The reality of GCSEs is that, you know, roughly a third of people fail, let alone get a grade 7, let alone get a grade 8, let alone get a grade 9. So when we're going through grade 7, 8, 9 questions, even if there's, 200 people in the chat who get it, that's only the top 20% of students, right? So I don't want you to be demoralized if somebody else understands it after I go through it and you don't. Of course, though, put it in the chat if you do get it now. That's why we're doing this. And it's a celebration, it's a celebration. What do we think for this one, guys? I can see a few answers going into the chat. If you're currently watching on the YouTube vertical, feel free to come over to the horizontal. I have 2 live streams running. The vertical one is just so that when people are scrolling shorts, they come onto the live. But if you discover me there, come over to the main horizontal live. That's where the chat is. That's where all the action happens. Yep, answers are going in the chat. Fantastic, guys. 3 marker, let's get it done. Another really crucial topic for tomorrow. Work out the value of 27 to the power 2 over 3 plus a half to the power of -3. So this is our topic of fractional and negative powers. How do we deal with a fractional power first of all? Well, when we have a fractional power, we do the root of the number on the bottom of the fraction and raise to the power of the number on the top. Because we have a 3 on the bottom of the fraction, we do the cubed root, and then because we have a 2 on the top, we square it. We're going to add this to. Now, what do we do with a negative power? Well, a negative power makes it 1 over whatever it would have been. If we have a fraction, the effect of that is that it flips the fraction. So this is going to essentially become 2 over 1 to the power of 3. The negative flips the fraction, and then we have the cubed. The cubed root of 27 is 3. So we have 3 squared plus 2 over 1. That's just 2, so 2 cubed. 3 squared is 9. 2 cubed is 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. And that's our answer to question number 14. Good job if you got it, team. Any questions, let me know. Question 15, we're going to skip because it's awkward to do on here. Question 16, iteration. We're definitely going to do this one because I know a lot of you won't have learned iteration, so there's some opportunity to make some big gains. Guys, there's now officially $1,000 on the stream. Let's get a quick lightning bolt emoji in the chat to celebrate. You guys know the lightning bolt emoji is the MyGCSEMaths signature emoji. We might even hit 50K subs tonight, which would be cool. I mean, I'm not going to talk about that because it's really not a big deal compared to you guys getting ready for tomorrow. But it's nice to know you're part of something. It's nice to know you're part of a team. It's nice to know you're part of a community. That is what we have here at MyGCSEMaths. You guys are revising together. You guys are encouraging each other. And it's really fantastic to see. Alone, it's very scary going through GCSEs and going through exams for the first time. When you have people with you, it's way better. You form a little team, you form a little community. And then you work through the storm together. That's what we're doing right here. Nice GCSE stud, nice your local engineer, Gala, Freya. Everybody's getting those bolts in the chat. Fantastic, fantastic. Ginger Ninja celebrating. What a name. I don't know if you can say that nowadays. Okay, team, question 16. Question 16. Yeah, okay, this is a good point from nfoodie, lol. What a name. I swear this is calculator. Honestly, normally iteration comes up on calculator, but it can come up on non-calculator. Now, this is another thing with predicted papers, guys, and another thing with predicted topics. They can be really misleading because iteration normally is a calculator topic, but it can be non-calculator, like in this paper. Quadratic formula, normally calculator, can be non-calculator. It's in this paper. Cosine rule, sine rule, in this paper, in the next paper that we're going to go through. I've chosen these papers deliberately because a lot of you have been revising only using predicted papers, only using predicted topics. You're going to miss out sine rule, cosine rule. Guess what? It's in this paper one. It's in the next paper one we're going to go through. So is quadratic formula. Guys, this is why it's really important to do past papers. Hey, M's fantastic. Says, I paid for the night before classes. How will I join them on the day? I can mention that later, M. It should be very clear. You're going to get an email. You click the link and it will just take you through to the portal. If there's anything confusing at all, just send me an email. I won't answer it now just because there's a lot of people, but I can support. Okay. Question 16, team. I've seen a few people putting it in text. It says very frustrating question. It is a frustrating question. Guys, let me know again, please, if you understand it. After we go through it, let's have a look. Question 16. At the start of year N, the population of a species is Pn. At the start of the following year, the population of the species is given by Pn plus 1 equals K times by Pn, where K is a positive constant. As soon as we see this Pn plus 1 and Pn, we know it's iteration. The population at the start of the first year is 8 million. Second year is 6 million. Work out the population at the start of the third year. Now, this is just a classic iteration problem. Basically, we use the first 2 years to work out K. When we have K, we apply that to the second year to get the third year. So what does this tell us? Well, Pn plus 1 is the next year, where Pn is the current year. So the n means current, n plus 1 means next. The next population is K times the current population. Let's use year 1 and year 2 to set up a little formula. Well, we know that year 2 is equal to K times by year 1. Year 2 is 6 million, which is equal to K times by year 1 is 8 million. Now we have an equation which we can rearrange for K. K is being multiplied by 8, so I'm going to divide both sides by K. I'm going to get 6 over 8 is equal to K. Simplify this, divide top and bottom both by 2, 3 over 4 is equal to K. Now that I've done this, I know the equation which links together a previous year and the next year. Pn plus 1, the population in the next year, is 3 over 4 times the current population. To work out year 3, we just do year 2 as the current and plug it in. So we can say that year 3 is equal to 3 over 4 times by 6, And there's different ways we could multiply this out. We could just do, easiest way for you guys to do this will be 3 over 4 times 6 over 1. 3 times 6 on the top is 18. 4 times 1 is 4. Now we can simplify this. 9 over 2, divide the top and bottom by 2. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. Okay, good job, guys. Let's have a look at the start of year 5. The value of k is increased by 0.3 to a new constant value. Louise thinks that from the start of year 5, the population would increase year on year. Is Louise correct? What do you think, guys, in the chat? Is Louise correct, and why? Is Louise correct, and why? D. Kang says, can you leave it as a fraction? Yes, you can. Guys, and so the answer is yes, but why? Because it says you must give a reason for your answer. A couple of people are asking if I can do the question again. I'm not going to be able to do this one again, but you could go back in the stream when we have the next break and have a quick recap of it then. Ivan says it would be because it increased by a constant. There you go. I've seen one person put the right answer in the chat. Only one person, and it is, I mean, Claudia's got it right. Yeah, Monaim, that was the one that I saw. Monaim, yeah. So, guys, Louise is correct. Now, normally people are wrong in the exams, so that's a good thing to guess with if you were going to guess. But Louise is actually correct. So, Louise is correct. Now, why is she correct? Let's think about it. Well, currently, the value of k is 0.75. Where do we work it out? It's 3 over 4, which is 0.75. So at the moment, k is 3/4. So k is 0.75. What this means is that when we work out the next value, we times the previous value by 0.75, so it gets smaller. But if this is increased by 0.3, well, it goes from 0.75 to 1.05. Louise is correct since k is now 1.05, so it increases each year. Now, you could say as well, if you wanted to, that it's 5% that it increases by. That's perfect, but you don't have to. You could just say it increases. But yeah, k was 0.75. When we increase it by 0.3, it goes to 1.05, which starts to increase the value since it's above 1. So yeah, exactly. It's because it's above 1, everybody. Good job. Okay. Question 17, we're going to... let's do question 17. Honestly, we're not going to spend too long on this. In fact, I'm just going to do this one for you because I don't want to waste a bunch of time on it because we basically use trial and error. Basically, we need to factorize this quadratic, which has a 6 in front of the x squared. Now, there's two different ways to do this. There's the systematic way, which honestly is not very good and I don't like. There's the trial and error way. We're going to use the trial and error way. Basically, we need to have two numbers at the start of our brackets, which times to make 6x squared. Normally, when it is a 6x squared, we have 3x and 2x. So that's where we're going to start with our trial and error. And then we need two numbers which times to make -4, which when one of them is times by 3x and the other one is times by 2x, gives us -5. And the best way to do this is with trial and error. I can solve them very quickly because I've done it 1,000 times, but basically you're going to end up with -4 there and +1 there. Let me just double check this. The way to do this is to try values and then to expand it and see what you get. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 1 is +3x. Yeah, it is correct. -4 times 2x is -8x. -4 times 1 is -4. We collect our like terms. 6x squared minus 5x -4. You can see that we get what we need to get. So this blue answer must be correct because it expands to give us what we need. Like I say, guys, don't worry too much about that one. The best method is trial and error. You could use the other method. That's also okay. The AC method, some people call it. The one that I want to focus in on, which is a grade 9 question, already is part B. So part B is what we're going to focus our time on. Yeah, most people are saying to skip it. Yep. Okay, so now that we factorized it, guys, how do we do part B? Like I say, this is grade 9. It's tough. I'm going to give you 1 minute to think about it, and then I'll go through it. Cool Ninja Dude. Oh yeah, what a name that is. Best method is calculator, lol. Yep, calculator is the best method if you have one. But if you have a GCSE Maths non-calculator paper tomorrow, the calculator method ain't going to get you very far. Okay, what do we think, team? Does anybody know? I've not seen anybody put the answer in the chat to this one yet. Let's see. Oh, I've seen one person put it in. Who was it? Mihaly. Jaturna got it as well. Yep, so guys, how do we do this? This is grade 9 topic, like I say, one of the very few grade 9 topics. How do we do it? So, how do we solve 6x squared minus 5x minus 4 is less than 0? Now, the topic is solving quadratic inequalities. And the way that we do it is we sketch our quadratic first. Remember, in the first part, we factorized this, 6x squared minus 5x minus 4, and we got this. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to sketch this graph. Now, the way that we sketch it, it's a quadratic, so we know that it has this shape, okay? We need to know the x-intercepts. Now, the x-intercepts are going to be the solutions to it being equal to 0. So we basically set this bracket equal to 0, 3x minus 4 equals 0, and then we solve for x. So 3x equals 4, and then x equals 4 over 3. Then we set this bracket equal to 0, 2x plus 1 equals 0, 2x equals minus 1, x equals minus a half. And then we put our axes intercepts on, so this is positive 4 over 3. This is minus a half. And then we sketch our graph. So far what we've done is we've set the brackets equal to 0, we've solved the quadratic being equal to 0. But we don't need it to be equal to 0, we need it to be less than 0. We need it to be under the axes. Now if we think about it, where is this graph less than 0? Well, it's less than 0 under the axes, i.e. between here and between here, so between negative a half and 4 over 3. So our answer is going to be that x is greater than negative a half and less than 4 over 3. Less than 4 over 3. Okay, that's going to be our answer. Now the classic would be if they made these values a little bit nicer, a little bit easier to work with. It would be something like solve x squared plus 7x plus 12 is great. Let's do greater than this time. Greater than 0. Guys, put your answers in the chat for this one for me. I'm going to add this as a bonus question in case it comes up tomorrow. So this is a bonus question that we're going to answer, which again is grade 9. Let's see if we can do it. Again, answers in the chat for me, guys. Idris says, will this be posted so it can be watched tomorrow as well? So the live stream, guys, will be posted straight away and it will go up straight on the channel. Actually, let me just show this so you can see, because I know some people always ask this question. So view channel live. If I go like this, so this is the YouTube channel, guys. And you can see that I have the 2 live streams here. This is the horizontal one. Sorry, this is the vertical one. This is the horizontal one. If you're watching on the vertical one, that's fantastic if it's, good on your phone, but you can also come over to the main one. Now, all of the live streams get recorded, and that was me doing a skydive the other day. All of the live streams get recorded, and they go straight up on the channel. When you click on the channel, you're going to come here, and then you just click live, and then the recordings are all going to be here. So this is last night's stream. We went for 4 hours last night as well. This is tonight's stream that's on live right now. As soon as the live is finished, it's going to be here, so you can watch it there. Okay. Any questions about that, guys? Neve says, hey, Matt, are you doing revision setups this year? It's come so quickly. Absolutely, Neve. Exam nerve settings. Yep, I'm going to be talking about that at the end of the session. So how do we do this one then, guys? I've actually, put it in the chat for me. Have I seen anybody put the correct answer in? I've not seen anybody yet. I've seen one person, which is Doug. And also Funny Ninja. Okay. So yeah, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to factorize just like with the last one. Remember, the goal is to sketch this. The way that we sketch a quadratic is we find the axes intercepts. The way that we find the axes intercepts is we sketch it. Two numbers which times to make 12, add to make 7. That's 4 and 3, so x plus 4 and x plus 3. And then we reverse the signs to get the axes intercepts. So x plus 4 equals 0. X equals negative 4, x plus 3 equals 0, x equals negative 3. So we have minus 4 and minus 3. Obviously, that's not to scale. We do our little curve. That was not perfect. There we go. Now this time we need where the graph is greater than 0. So we need above the axes. So before it was less than 0, so it was this bit. Now it's above the axes, so it's this bit. Now above the axes, we have to be to the right of negative 3. So we have x is greater than negative 3. Or we have to be to the left of negative 4, so x is less than negative 4. Remember, the crocodile eats the bigger number. So this means that x is bigger than minus 3, so to the right of it. This means that x is less than minus 4, so to the left of it, which gives us the regions on the graph that we need. Okay, question 18 up next. This is a good one, guys. We are now into the back end of the paper, the more difficult questions. Problem solving here. Tom's Funny Shorts, great question. How do you know whether it's equal to or not? The reason, Tom, is if you have the line under here, you also have the or equal to, and then you would need that there as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask quickly if you can just let me know if you can hear my music, because I've changed it a bit. You shouldn't be able to hear it. Please, can you turn your volume up to max? I'm not going to say anything while I count down from 5. And it's really important that you let me know if you can hear it. You shouldn't be able to hear it. Okay. Okay, cool. Nobody can hear it. Fantastic. Question 18, back to the heat. Okay, some people are saying a teeny bit. Okay, Zena says nice Afrobeat, so you can hear it a tiny bit. Okay, I'm going to have to turn it down a click. Now I can't hear it. Yeah, everybody asking what song it is. If I could play it, I would. Guys, maybe I'll drop the MyGCSEMaths playlist for you all. Okay. Question 18. Let's get answers in the chat for me when we're ready. Again, I'm not sure if I've seen anybody with the right answer in here yet. Harun says, please drop the playlist. We had the MyGCSEMaths playlist that I dropped last year. I'll make it and I'll hook it up to a little QR. Maybe I'll actually, maybe I'll do that at the end of this live. So you guys have it for tomorrow. Okay, it's mainly Afro beats. While I'm live streaming, I like to listen to Afro beats because it just has the most energy of any type of music. Okay. Yeah, a few answers going in the chat. Let's talk about this one then, guys. So the question says, question 18, spinner A and spinner B are each spun once. The probability that spinner A will land on red is 1/4. The probability that spinner A and B land on red is 1/24. Work out the probability that one spinner lands on red and the other spinner does not land on red. So the interesting thing here is that we've not been told the probability for spinner B. We've been told the probability for spinner A landing on red. We've been told A and B landing on red, but we haven't been told B landing on red. So we're going to work that out first of all. So let's say, probability, how should we do this? Let's do it with a little tree diagram. I was wanting to do this without a tree diagram, but let's do it with one. So we have spinner A being spun. Let me move this down a little bit. And then after that, we have spinner B being spun. So we have spinner B. Spinner A, spinner B. Now we know for spinner A, the probability of a red is 1/4. And that means that not red is 3/4. We know probabilities add to make 1. So if red is 1/4, not red is 3/4. Now what about spinner B landing on red and then not red? So red, you can write not red with an apostrophe. Red, not red. Red, not red. Well, we know to work out the probability of red and red, we would times together the probabilities of them landing on red, right? So to work out one thing and another thing happening, we times the probabilities together. So in this case, we know that the probability that spinner A lands on red and spinner B lands on red is 1/24. So we can say that 1/4 times by, let's call it x, or let's call it even 1/x, is equal to 1/24. So this is like saying, what does x have to be for the probability of A times being red and B being red together to be 24? Now we know that when we have one fraction times by another fraction, we do top times top and bottom times by bottom. We know therefore that the top is just 1 and the bottom here, x is going to have to be 6 because 4 times by 6 is 24. So the probability of spinner B landing on red then is going to be 1/6. 1/6, which makes not red 5/6. 5/6. Then we have 1/6 and we have 5/6. Now, what are the different ways that we could get what we need? Work out the probability that one spinner lands on red and the other spinner does not. So this then is going to be the probability that the first one lands on red. I'll do it down here. So probability that the first one lands on red and then the second spinner lands on not red. Or the other option is the first spinner lands on not red and the second spinner lands on red. Now I've just used this apostrophe, which is the complement, which means not red. So the probability that the first one is red and the second one is not red, well, that's going to be 1/4 times by 5/6, going down the trees, 5/6. Then not red, for the first one is 3/4, second one being red, 1/6. Next step, we can simplify. On the top, 1 times 5 is 5, bottom 4 times 6 is 24. Here we do 3 times 1 on the top is 3, 4 times 6 is 24. Now, because we can have this one or this one, for them both being on red, we're going to add those probabilities together. We're going to do 5/24 plus 3/24. Adding two fractions together, we leave the bottom, we add the top, we get 8/24, which we can simplify. Divide the top and bottom both by 8, we get 1/3 as our answer. J Punk says, do we have to simplify though? We don't have to simplify. Absolutely not. You can go with just 8/24. Okay, good work, Musa. Good work, Joseph. Guys, let me know, did we get it? Does it make sense now? Ash and Cal says, I got 8/24. Would I lose marks for not simplifying? Absolutely not. You don't have to simplify that, guys. Next question. Do you guys want to go through this one? Let me know in the chat. Do you want to go through it? Lots of you are saying that you get it now. Fantastic, guys. This is a very challenging question, question 19. If I do go through it, I'm not going to give you long. Okay, pretty much everybody is saying yes. We'll go through it. Don't worry, guys. We'll go through it. So for this one then, I'm going to go through part A and B together. This, guys, 19A I would say is grade 7. 19B is definitely grade 9. Definitely grade 9. Or grade 8, grade 9. Arian says, I usually skip this one. NJ, did you just say you're heading off? Hey, thank you, NJ. Pleasure to have you on as ever, buddy. Freya says, I need help with this one. Please do it. Absolutely. Ether says, what does this mean? Yep, okay, guys, I'll go through it. Question number 19, guys. Let's have a look. Now, this one is tough. This one is tricky, but I'm going to explain it in a way which is going to also teach a bit of the topic. So, question 19. Did I zoom out a bit? Yeah, I did. Let me zoom back in. There we go. Question 19. Here is a graph of y equals sine x. Use the graph to find estimates of the solutions of sine x is 0.3 from minus 180 to x to 180. Now, let's think about this. The graph is y equals sine x. We need to find the graph of sine x equals 0.3. Sorry, we need to find the solutions of that. For x is between minus 180 and 180. Well, what does this mean, first of all? Well, this just means there's going to be more than one answer. And we only want the answers between minus 180 and 180 because the graphs actually continue. So there's infinite answers, but we want the answers only in this range from x is minus 180 to 180. Next part, sine x is 0.3. Well, we have the graph of y is sine x. So this is like saying that y is 0.3. So we need to find the value of x when y is 0.3. Now, how do we find where y is 0.3? We go into our graph. We see that there's 10 boxes between 0 and 1, and that means that each box is worth 0.1. So 3 boxes up is going to be 0.3. 3 boxes up is going to be 0.3. So we need to basically draw a horizontal line across to find where the graph is when y is 0.3. In other words, here and here. So now I come in, I draw my little line down, and I draw my little line down, and you can see there's more than one answer. Now this one here, let's think about this. Well, there are 5 boxes between here and here. That means 10 boxes. That means 15 boxes. Now we need to go 3 boxes across. Well, if 90, so 15 boxes is 90, then 1 box is 90 divided by 15, which is 6. But we need 3 boxes, so we do 3 times 6, which is 18. So 3 boxes would be 18 if 1 box is 6. So I'll make that super clear. 1 box is 6. 3 boxes is 18. This one is 3 boxes below 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 18, That's going to be 162, and that is our other answer. So 18 and 162. So 18 and 162. You don't have to write the and like me. I just wrote it like that. Guys, let me know in the chat. Does that make a bit more sense now? I know that was a tough one. I love Joey says, yep, I've not learned this. I fear I'm cooked. Joey, let me tell you, mate, if you've not learned that, you're not cooked. That's a teeny niche topic, very niche topic. A lot of you will have no idea what was going on. That's completely fine. Part B, write down a value of x such that sine of x plus 20 is equal to 0. Now this one's tough. This one's tough. Nice, guys. Good work. Good work, Mikas. A couple of people asking why 0.3, because of the 0.3 here. So what do we know? Well, we know that sine of 0 is equal to 0 because the graph starts at 0, 0. So when x is 0, sine 0 is 0. So we need x plus 20 to be 0. That gives x equals minus 20. X equals minus 20. You could also have 160, but you only need one answer. Texter says, I wish I learned this. Honestly, guys, if you have no idea what's going on for this, honestly, if you're aiming for a grade 9 and you don't know what I just did, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. Question 20, how are we doing on time? 4 marks. Yep, and this, guys, is why predicted papers and predicted topic lists are not the main thing to revise for. This topic is probably not in any of the predicted papers that you've done, any of the predicted topic lists. Okay, question 20, and then, guys, we're going to have our second break of the evening. It's a big shift tonight, guys. For anybody who's new here, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on. My name is Matt. I'm the founder of MyGCSEMaths. I built the company because basically I'm making what I wish I had when I was your guys' age. I got through my GCSEs and my A-levels and stuff, but let me tell you, it was rough. And I don't want you guys to have to do it the same way. So hopefully I'm making it a bit easier than it was for me. I go live every Monday, 5:30 till 6:30. I have a group tutoring, which has about 10 students in at the moment. Maybe it's going to increase, who knows. We do a grade 4-5 session, 5:30 till 6:30 on a Tuesday, a grade 6-7 session on a Wednesday, and a grade 8-9 session on a Thursday. So feel free to join. It's £20 a week. Free week trial as well. The link is in the description, so you can join there. But I also have the free lives every Monday, 5:30 till 6:30 as well. Anybody putting 6-7 in the chat after about 15 seconds is going to get muted by me, not the moderators. I'll do it. So guys, please don't spam 6-7 in the chat. Low-key 6-7 is very funny. Like, it's just the most weird thing to ever happen. But it's also hella annoying if we're on a live stream the day before GCSE Maths. Question 20. I saw a few of you put cosine rule in the chat, and you're absolutely right. It is cosine rule. My hint for this one, guys, is going to be we need to work out angle ABC. Angle ABC is this one. Cosine rule, big A, small a, ignore these ones, just relabel them, BC, and we can use either the cosine regular rule, which is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of a, or we can use the cosine angle rule, which I'll show you guys how to work out in just a second. A couple of you are asking how old I am. I'm 25, guys. A couple of you are asking what GCSEs I got. I managed to self-teach myself and learn how to learn to the degree that I got all A stars in GCSEs, all A stars in A levels, and then did my degree in economics at the London School of Economics. Not because I'm some genius, but because I put in a lot of effort to learn how to learn. That's what I'm going to be teaching you guys, and learn how to perform well. That's what I'm going to be teaching you at the end of today's session, the mindset stuff, the exam performance stuff, the mentality stuff that's going to get you over the line. Question 20. Let's get a quick ready in the chat for me if you're ready, guys. I've not seen many people put answers in there. Okay, yeah, few answers going in, few readies going in. Okay, guys, let's get it done. So first off, I said that this is cosine rule. How did I know that it's cosine rule? Well, I have a quick look at this. I see a triangle. I see 3 sides in the triangle that I have. I see that it's not a right angled triangle, and we have to work out the size of the angle. When we see a non-right angled triangle and a question involving sides and angles, we're thinking sine rule or cosine rule. And then when we see 3 side lengths in the question, we're thinking cosine rule. Now, because I need to work out the angle, I need to use the cosine angle rule. And you can see what I did first step was I just scribbled out what they labeled as the sides and the angles, and I just gave it my own labeling. And that's going to be easier because it's going to mean that our A is what we're used to in the cosine rule. We want the angle involved to be capital A, side length opposite it is lowercase a, and the other 2 sides are lowercase b and lowercase c. Now, we need to work out the cosine angle rule. You're not given that one in the exam, so I'm going to show you how to work it out from here. Now, if you think about it, what we're trying to do is we're trying to work out the value of a. Now, there's a lot at the moment stopping the a from being on its own. The first thing is, well, the a is negative because of the minus 2bc cos capital A. So I'm going to move all of this to the left-hand side of the equation by adding it. So I'm going to get 2bc cos A plus a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Now to get the capital A on its own, I'm going to move this a squared to the right by minusing it from both sides. 2bc cos of A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared. Next step, I'm going to divide both sides by 2bc. At the end of the day, this is 2 times b times c times cos A. I can move this 2bc by dividing both sides by 2bc. So I'm going to get cos of A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. Now, I know you're thinking still, how is this in a non-calculator paper? You're going to see, guys. So next stage, we're going to substitute all of our values in. Lowercase b is 10, lowercase c is 5, lowercase a is 5 root 7. So we're going to sub them in, and let's see what we get. We get cos A equals, b was 10, c was 5, so 10 squared plus 5 squared minus 5 root 7, which I'm going to put in brackets, just to make it clear that we're squaring the whole thing, 5 root 7 squared, over 2 times by 10 times by 5, 2bc. Okay, next step, let's simplify this. We get cos A is equal to 10 squared plus 5 squared, so 100 plus 25 minus, now 5 root 7 squared, that's 5 root 7 times by 5 root 7. We do the number on the outside times outside. 5 times 5 is 25. Inside times inside. 7 times 7 is 49. That turns to 25 times by 7. And 25 times 7 you can do using the column method. It's going to be 175. Yes. So we get minus 175 there. All of this is over 2 times 10, which is 20, times 5, which is 100. Simplify. Cos A is equal to 100 plus 25 is 125. Minus 175 is minus 50 over 100. Simplify, divide the top and bottom both by 50. We get cos of A equals minus 1 over 2. Whoosh. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. What next? Where do we go from here? Yep. A few of you putting answers in the chat, 120. Very good. How do we find the value of A when cos of A is minus a half? Now this again, guys, we're jumping to the grade 9 part of the question. I know that my cos graph looks like this. And I also know that cos of a half, or cos 60 I should say, is a half. Now this is 30 below 90, because this is 90. So we have to go 30 above 90 using the symmetry of the cosine graph to get to minus a half. Minus a half. So basically 30 above 90 is going to be 120, and that gives us A equals 120. Up to 3 marks, guys, was grade 8. That last mark is incredibly difficult to get. Again, even if you are aiming for a grade 9 and you're not sure how I did that last bit, please don't panic. It's a very, very difficult question. It's a very difficult question. Okay, guys, we are now 2 hours into the stream. Can you believe it's been 2 hours already? And we have, you know what, guys? Maybe we make the decision now. Would you like me to go until 10 p.m. and turn this into a 5-hour stream? Should we do 5 hours today? Should we finish at 9, or maybe we'll do finish at 10? What time shall we finish? What time shall we finish? Okay, it's pretty obvious what people are saying. 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. I'm going to start the poll. Vote for me, guys, in there. Okay, we have 80%, pretty much everybody saying 10 p.m. Guys, we're going to go until 10 p.m. Absolutely. So we're going to take another break now. We are going to have a 10-minute break. And we are going to be back at 10 minutes past 7. So let me write this in the screen. So I'm going to say 10 min. Okay, that is not the clearest, actually. Let me zoom out a bit. Let me write it. Let me just make this a bit smaller. That's what I'll do. Okay. 10 min break. Back at 7:10 p.m. Now, guys, just for you to have a look at while you're having your break is my completely free platform. And I'm just going to show you quickly because some of you might want to use it ahead of tomorrow. So a lot of people have seen my social media. A lot of you won't have seen my website. I have a website which is completely free to sign up. And basically, I'm going to show you it now quickly. And then I'm going to put the link in the chat to sign up. Basically, don't worry about this. This is the group tutoring and the night before classes. And I just want to quickly view it as somebody who is a member. So if I go to a random person, I'm going to pick Emma Jones, who's been working through some stuff. And then I'm going to go view as. And then you can see what it looks like, guys. So you come on here, you make a completely free account. This is all free. And then you go to single topic training. I'm only showing you this because it might be helpful ahead of tomorrow. Now, these are the topics all in order from grade 1 to grade 9. And you can see this person's been working through them. But basically, there's 400 videos covering the entire course. And if you come down here, you can see there's the grade 9 topics. If you're aiming for a grade 7, 8, or 9, this might be good to do ahead of tomorrow. It's like 2-minute videos covering every grade 9 topic that I made. How to solve quadratic inequality. How do I turn the volume off? There you go. And you basically, when you're finished, you just click complete lesson and you move on to the next one. Yep, it's completely free. All of that stuff is free. So I'm going to put the link in the chat now. I do have the group tutoring, which is paid for. But I also have the free platform, which is completely free. There's also no, like, some people say stuff is free, but it's not free. This is actually free. So I'm going to, you can either sign up on your phone, or I'll put the link in the chat. to make a free account, you just go on MyGCSEMaths.com. I can also show you, if you scan the QR code, I'm going to put the QR code up as well. Website QR code. There we go. So if you scan that QR code, it will take you there. That will take you to, if you're on your phone, it will look a bit different, but MyGCSEMaths.com. You click Get Started Now, and then it will take you through to make an account, basically. So that's all from me. I am now going to have a break. I'm going to be back in 7 minutes, guys, and we're going to get going at 7:10. Maybe I'll just quickly see if there's any questions about the free platform. Ellie Proctor says, will this apply to an AQA exam board as well? Absolutely. So the platform is for edXL and AQA. So both edXL and AQA are based on the same curriculum from the Department for Education. The Department for Education gives a topic list that AQA and edXL use to do exams. This covers everything in the Department for Education curriculum. So it covers everything for AQA, everything for edXL. There you go. Yep. Okay. You can make one there. And yeah, guys, it's completely free. It covers most of the IGCSE spec, but it doesn't cover differentiation and it doesn't cover series, but everything else pretty much is there. Guys, I'm going to have a rest now. I'll be back in what's going to be 6 minutes. Congratulations for a fantastic shift so far, guys. I will see you soon. And we are back. Guys, let me... And we are... I got some echo over there. Let me see what's going on. There we go. Should be fixed now. Fantastico. We're back, guys. We're back. Hello, some guy. Hello, Keaton. Hello, Carmen. Hello, Zion. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Time to get cracking again. I was a minute late. I can see some of you are definitely a minute late. We had 300 before, and we definitely don't have 300 now. Guys, let me know. Did you make an account? Sorry, not 300. We had 1,000 before. I mean, we had 300 more before. Did you make an account? Did you? What did you think? Oh, there we go. Hey, DJ, good to hear. Yeah, quite a few of you are saying you made an account. What did you think, guys? Hello, Carmen. Nice, Fletcher. And Islam says he's dropping a big one. Oh, mate, come on. God. Sophie. Storm liked it. Yeah, fantastic, guys. Glad you think it's helpful. Honestly, you can even just start from the grade 9 topics. Go back to the grade 8 topics. Go back to the grade 7 topics. Leo says, do you have to pay for an account to use the resources? Nope, it's completely free, guys. It's completely free. I have my group tutoring, which is my small group tutoring classes, which is £20 a week, which is 3 hours a week with me, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. The group tutoring on the website is a bit outdated. It says at the moment that it's Wednesdays and Thursdays, foundation and higher, 5 till 7, but it's actually 5:30 till 6:30. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That's going to be starting from next week. So that's £20 a week. You can join that. It's basically tutoring with me, but in this format. We have about 10 people on there at the moment. But the revision platform, the videos, the social media live stream on a Monday, completely free, guys. Completely free. Okay, should we get going? Let's get going again. Yeah, let's do it. Guys, we are now on the final 2 questions of this paper. So it's going to be tough, the start of this third block of revision. Nevertheless, we're going to get it done and we're going to learn a lot in these ones. We're going to learn a lot on these ones. Oh, thank you, AS13. Said Matt, just to let you know, there's some dispute happening in the chat on YouTube Shorts Live, I think. I think it's stopped now, but I don't know. Harris, who's the main moderator, can you open YouTube Shorts? Not YouTube Shorts, but can you open the live stream on your phone on YouTube, please? So then you can have the main stream on your laptop, and you can have, or on a different device, different computer or whatever, you can have the Shorts one on there as well. And I know it's going to be a bit tough, but I'm sure you can handle it, mate. Okay, let's do this one then, guys. Question 21. I'm just going to go through it. Can we just get a quick W in the chat if we're ready, please? Can we just get a quick W in the chat if we're ready? Because we've just had quite a long break. I want to make sure that everybody's back in the chat. Oh, yeah, people are saying W Harris. Guys, for all of the moderators, can we please just get... maybe not a W because I just said W, but it's really important that I do this. There's some student moderators on this evening who are doing a fantastic job. We've got Carmel, we've got Amelie, we've got Joseph, we've got a few of you. You can see them with the blue names. We also have Harris helping out, who is a good friend of mine. Please, can we all have a moment of appreciation in the chat just to say thank you to all of the moderators. So you can say W mods, or you can say big up moderators, or thank you moderators. There's 1,000 people learning with us this evening. This would not be possible at all without the moderators. So please, can we get a big thank you in the chat for the moderators, little W mods from everybody, and then we're going to get going with the lives again, or with the questions again. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Sobi. Some guy says W Matt for mentioning the W mods. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Okay, guys, let's get cracking again then. Thank you for being so appreciative to the moderators. Question number 21. This one, guys, not many people will have covered in revision, and it covers two very useful principles. Two very useful principles. So let's go through it. On the grid, draw the graph of x squared plus y squared equals 169. So what type of graph is this, guys? Can we get it in the chat? X squared plus y squared equals 169. What type of graph is this? The general equation is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Has anybody got it? Yeah, good job, BTD. It's a circle. So you know how we have y equals mx plus c for straight lines, which is quite a big topic. We also have a small topic, which is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And that is for working out, or that is the equation of a circle. We always have x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is the radius. So because this is 169, the radius of the circle squared is 169. We square root both sides. The radius is 13. So, and also, x squared plus y squared equals r squared is always going to be centered at the origin. So basically, with a radius of 13, we go up to 13 there, minus 13, positive 13, minus 13 down here. And then we're going to draw a nice big circle around. I'm just going to go like so. That was a horrible circle. Let me try that again. Surely, yeah, there we go. So there we have a circle centered at the origin with a radius of 13. We can see it goes up to 13, it goes down to 13, right to 13, and left to 13. Now, this is a really important bit, guys, that I want to go through. So use your graph to find estimates for the solutions of the simultaneous equations x squared plus y squared equals 169 and 2y equals 3x. How do we find the solution to simultaneous equations using a graph? What we do is we sketch both of the lines and we see where they intersect. So we sketch this one that we've already done. The next thing to do is to sketch the 2y equals 3x. Now, this is a straight line, but in order to sketch it, we need it to be y equals. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. We get y equals 3 over 2x. And we can imagine this having an imaginary plus 0. Makes it a bit easier to see that it's a straight line. Y equals mx plus c. The x-intercept is 0, and the gradient is 3 over 2, which means when we go 2 across, we go 3 up. We go 2 more across, we go 3 up. Another thing which is important to... Oh, we didn't go 3 up there. There we go. Another thing which is important to note is this is 2 across, 3 up, 2 across, 3 up. Each of the little sets of boxes here represents 2. Next thing then, guys, is going to be to join all of these together so we can go another 4 across, 6 up. It's going to go through there. So we can now join these, straight line through them all, and we can look for where they intersect. We can see they intersect here, so we go down to the x value, and then we go across to the y value. 5 boxes causes a difference of 2, so each box is worth 0.4. So this is going to be 0.8 below 8, so it's going to be 7.2. Up here, it's going to be 0.8 above 10, so it's going to be 10.8. Now we go up like so, and we go across. 2 boxes below the 10, so minus 10.8. And then we have 2 boxes to the right of the 8, so minus 7.2. So the solutions then, we need the x values and the y values. We get 2 different values for x, which are x equals minus 7.2 and plus 7.2. 2 values for y equals minus 10.8 and y equals positive 10.8. And those guys are going to be our 4 values to the simultaneous equations. Guys, talk to me in the chat. ZXX, exactly, yes. So you want to use a compass to draw your circle. I should have said that, actually. So to sketch this with a compass, you would set your compass width to 13, or just to this width here. I can imagine it like this. And then you would draw the circle around. And just like that, guys, we're on the final question of our first paper, question 22. Oscar says hard but doable. Joseph says it makes sense now. Ash and Cal says say wallahi, wallahi. Amelie says, why are we drawing the line? We drew the line, Amelie, because it was solve the simultaneous equations. So we draw both of the lines on the graph. We draw the circle, and we draw y equals 3 over 2x, which is a straight line through the origin. Then we look for where they intersect. Hopefully that one made sense. Any more questions, let me know. LXV Ebits says, where did the 13 come from? The 13 came from the square root of the 169. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. So the radius squared was 169. STAS Bartnick says, hey Matt, is this a live stream? Absolutely, it's a live stream. Question 22, guys. GCSE student says, what's the common ratio? Would you guys like a hint for this one? Drop hint in the chat for me if you'd like a hint. Okay, a lot of you are asking for a hint. Let's go through it then, guys. A little hint. So, my first question to you guys is, what is a geometric sequence? The answer to that, I'll just answer it for you, is a geometric sequence is a sequence where, to get from one term to the next, we times by the same thing each time. So in this sequence, we go from 2 to 6, which is times 3, 6 to 18, which is times 3. I didn't mean to write 15. I don't know why I wrote 15. I meant to write 54. So times 3 again, right? Now, how, and then the common ratio is the thing we times by each time. So we times by 3. The question says, find the value of the common ratio of the sequence, give your answer in this form. Now, my question to you guys is, how do you work out that this common ratio is times 3? Well, you do one of the terms divided by the previous term. So you could do 6 divided by 2, which is 3, or 18 divided by 6, which is 3. So in this case, what you could do is, you could do the third term divided by the second term, and that would give you the common ratio. So we're going to do the third term, 3 plus 2 root 2, not that actually, 13 plus 9 root 2 is what I meant, divided by the second term, 3 plus 2 root 2. And then to write it in this form, well, basically, this is a simplified version of this fraction. Now this, guys, is just a rationalizing question. Again, I say just, this is a grade 8, grade 9 topic, but basically we need to rationalize the denominator for this fraction. How do we rationalize the denominator? We times the fraction by the current denominator, but we swap the plus for a minus. So we times by 3 minus 2 root 2 on the top and the bottom. Now we need to be really careful to make sure that we do all of this times by all of this, and all of this times by all of this. That's my hint, guys. I'm going to now give you another 2 minutes, and then we're going to go through it. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly fill up my water. Oh, it just clicked for Arian. Good work, buddy. Okay, okay. Can we get a quick ready in the chat for me, guys, when you're ready for this one? Don't worry, Joseph. I only give the hint after a while. Eyes Edit says, is this beneficial for AQA students or just Edexcel? Absolutely. It's beneficial for Edexcel and for AQA, guys. Edexcel and AQA are very similar. The topics covered are exactly the same pretty much. There are some small differences in terms of the way questions are worded, but this is still going to be really beneficial if you're doing AQA tomorrow. Okay, a few of us are saying that we're ready. Guys, let's get it done. Last question of this paper. So, question 22. What we're going to do is we're going to expand the top and we're going to expand the bottom. We're going to simplify them, and then we're going to see what we end up with. So on the top, we're going to have, firstly, 13 times by 3, which is going to be 39, followed by 13 times by minus 2 root 2. We do the number times by the number on the outside. Now, 13 times by 2 is 26, so minus 26 root 2. Then we're going to do 9 root 2 times by 3. Again, we have a number times by a number outside a third, and then a third. So we do the number on the outside times the number. That's 27. So plus 27. And we have our root 2. And then we're going to have minus. How do we times this third by this third? We do the number on the outside times outside. 9 times 2 is 18. And then we do inside times inside. 2 times 2 is 4. So we end up with this. Now, simplifying the bottom, doing the same thing. 3 times 3 is 9. I should have written that like this. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times minus 2 root 2 is minus 6 root 2. 2 root 2 times 3 is plus 6 root 2. 2 root 2 times minus root 2 is minus 4 root 4. Now we're going to simplify. On the top, what are we going to have? Well, on the top, we have 39 minus 26 root 2 plus 27 root 2. So we're going to keep the 39. I'm going to go for my equals. I'm going to go back to blue. So 39 minus 26 root 2 plus 27 root 2. We have 27 lots of root 2. We take 26 lots of root 2 away. We're left with 1 lot of root 2. That's going to be plus. So plus 1 lot of root 2. And then minus, if we think about this, the square root of 4, we know that. The square root of 4 is 2. So this is 18 times 2. 18 times by 2 is 36. So we have minus 36 over minus 6 root 2 and 6 root 2 cancel. 9 minus, again, we're going to simplify this one. Root 4 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. So this becomes 8. So it's 9 minus 8. Simplifying now, 39 minus 36 on the top. The number, take the number, is 3 plus root 2 over 9 minus 8 is 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. So this we can just write as 3 plus root 2. And that, guys, is our answer to our final question of our first paper. Guys, if you got that, congratulations. Fantastic job. If you didn't get it, don't panic. It's the last question of the paper. Eyes Edit says 4 marks for this is insane. Honestly, I would normally be on the side of it should be more marks, but this is okay for 4 marks. The third simplifies quite nicely in this one, so we don't have to do too much rearranging at the end there. Nice. Okay, guys, 1 paper down. It is time to throw our party. So I'm going to ask you to put a bunch of your favorite emojis in the chat just to symbolize that we are now a full paper in to our day before GCSE maths revision. My hopes is that we can get through 2 full papers, which is the perfect amount of revision to do on the day before. So let's get some emojis in the chat. I can see Hassan there with a trophy emoji in the chat. Joe with a dab emoji. Love to see it. Let's spam the chat full of emojis, guys. And then we're going to move on to our next paper of the day, which is going to be the November 2024 paper, which we're going to start in just a few moments. Hey, Carmel's partying, Wolf is partying, Shelby's partying, Justice is partying, Cloudy is partying, Zain is partying, Mahali, Amelie. Fantastic, guys. Love to see it. Love to see it. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic, Adam. Fantastic, Jive. Fantastic, Claudia. Absolutely brilliant, guys. Okay. Team, we're now going to move on to our next paper of the day. I just want to have a quick look to see if I can actually see my other YouTube live, and if it has a separate chat or the same chat. I think is it the same chat or a different chat? Aha, it's a different chat. So guys, if you're currently watching on the vertical live, it's a pleasure to have you on. Of course, maybe you're watching on your phone, but just so you know, I am live on two separate YouTube feeds, a vertical feed and a horizontal feed. If you're currently watching on the vertical, the main one is on the horizontal. That's the one that I'm looking at the chat for. So if you want to come over there, there's 940 of us on the horizontal one, about 250 of us on the vertical one. You just have to click off the live. I can even put the link in. Share, copy link. I'll put the link in the chat. There you go, guys. Thank you, Sam. Legend, Sam. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Fantastic, guys. Should we get going then? Should we get going? Let's get a quick ready in the chat. No, let's get a better one. Let's get a lightning bolt emoji in the chat if we're ready for the next one. The next break, guys, is in about 25 minutes. We are going to crack on with our next paper up until that point. Just a second, team. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Joe's ready. Zain's ready. Nono's ready. Carmel's ready. Come on. Guys, I know I put the messages on a little bit more delayed. 15-second delay, that's just so people couldn't be annoying or to limit the effect of people being annoying. I think in balance, the 15... yeah, in balance, the 15-second thing is good, I think. Okay then, team. Let's get going. Next paper. Without further ado, question number 1. This is a great one for us to start with. Fantastic revision to do ahead of tomorrow. Okay, team, let's get going. Let's get going. Answers in the chat for me when you're ready, and I'm going to show you a fantastic method to go through this one. Sorry, guys, if you just heard me typing. I was just letting the people in the other chat know where the main live is. So I can see a few different answers in the chat. Some are correct, some are incorrect. And this is a very common thing with dividing decimals because it works a little bit differently to multiplying them. Let's go through it then. So how, guys, do we work out 818.4 divided by 1.2. Now, the first thing that I'm going to say is how this is different to multiplying, because it is really important to know there's different methods for both. If we were multiplying them, we would remove the decimal places, we would do the new multiplication, then we would put, in this case, 2 decimal places back in. That's the method for multiplying. It's not the method for dividing. Dividing is similar but different. Here's the thing. With dividing, what we do is we times both of our numbers by the same power of 10. So it could be times 10 or 100 or 1000, basically to remove the decimal places, either from just this one or from this one. It both works. But basically what this does is, if we times this by 10 and times this by 10, we get 8184 divided by 12. Now, when we're dividing, because timesing this number by 10 makes our answer 10 times bigger, but timesing this number by 10 makes our answer 10 times smaller, the overall effect of this is that it doesn't change the value of our answer. So if we work this out, this is just the final answer. There's no more decimals to put in. There's no more decimal places to put in. We can just do it this way. Now, you could, if you wanted to now, do a bus stop method with 8184 and 12. But to be honest, it's a bit difficult to do the bus stop number with a big number on the outside. Say, for example, we had, 38 on the outside. That is tough. Here's a method to get around that. What we can do is we can split the number that we're dividing by into 2 factors. I'm going to do 4 and 3. And then we can divide by both of these numbers separately. So we can do 8184 divided by 4 and then divide the answer by 3. So in this case, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to draw out a bus stop. I'm going to go 8184 divided by 4. 4's into 8 goes twice. 4's into 1 goes 0, remainder 1. 4's into 18 goes 4, remainder 2. 4's into 24 goes 6 times. Now I can do 2046, which is what we got, divided by my 3, my other one. 3's into 2 goes 0 times remainder 2. 3's into 20 goes 6 times remainder 2. 3's into 24 goes 8 times. 3's into 6 goes twice. And we get 682 as our final answer. So that, guys, shows you a easier and oftentimes actually quicker method as well. It's not necessarily essential for this one, but for some bigger divisions, it would come in really handy. Okay, next up, question number 2. This one looks intimidating, but we're definitely going to do it. It's a good little non-calculator question. Any questions, guys? Let me know in the chat. I'm looking at it now. Stas says, wow, love it. Thanks, Matt. My pleasure, buddy. What do we think for this one, guys? I'm just going to turn the light on because it's getting quite dark. There we go. Thank you, some guy. You just reminded me to change the name of the paper. Good shout. Paper title, 2024 paper. Great shout, buddy. Thanks for that. Yep. Thank you, guys. Paper is 24. Exactly. So, guys, should we do it? I can see a few answers going in the chat. It's a 3 marker for question 2. Let's do it. Question number 2. It says, the table shows the probabilities that a biased dice will land on 3, on 4, on 5, and on 6. Kareem assumes that the probabilities that the dice will land on 1 and 2 are the same. Classic. Kareem rolls the dice 500 times. Assuming he's correct, work out an estimate for the number of times the dice will land on 2. How do we do this? We work out the probability of it landing on a 2, and then we times this by the number of times that we roll the dice. So we need the probability, then we times it by 500. How do we work out the probability? Well, we know that all of these probabilities have to add to make 1, and we also know that these two are the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly call these two x, and then I'm going to set up an equation, add all of these together, set it equal to 1, and work out x. So I'm going to have x plus 0.1 plus 0.3 plus 0.05 plus 0.25 equals 1. X plus x is 2x. 0.1 plus 0.3 is 0.4. 0.05 plus 0.25 is 0.3. 0.4 plus 0.3 is 0.7. So 2x plus 0.7 equals 1. So 2x equals 0.3. So x equals 0.3 divided by 2. That is going to be 0.15. Now to work out the number of times, I'm going to do 0.15 times by 500. 0.15 times by 500. Now to do this, what we can do is we can do 0.15 times by 5 and then add the 2 zeros. 15 times by 5 is 75. So 0.15 times by 5 is going to be 0.75. Then we have to times it by 100. So we have to times it by 100 because of these zeros. So we have 0.75 times by 100, and that is going to be 75. You could do that using a longer method if you want to. Either way is okay. Okay, part B, Kareem is wrong. The probability that the dice will land on 2 is greater than the probability it will land on 1. How does it affect your answer to part A? Well, we estimated the number of times it will land on 2. Now we're saying the probability it lands on 2 is greater than we used in part A. So we would expect the number would increase because now the probability of getting a 2 is higher, so the number of 2s we expect would increase. Good job, Heron. Good job, Sam. Good job, everybody. Nicely done. Hey, Sama, good to have you. Always a pleasure. Okay. Question 3 is another paper 2 classic, paper 1 classic. Let's do it. Hey, Wilf. Thank you very much, buddy. Glad you're feeling more confident for the paper. That's fantastic to hear. Oh, thank you, Salma. Said, sir, I realized my mum has Facebook, so I sent a review, 5 stars, obviously. Thank you, Salma. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that very much. I'm actually going to mention that a bit later. A few answers are going in the chat. Another 30 seconds for you all. It's only a 2 marker. And then honestly, guys, we're going to do part B as well. So we're going to do A and B together. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to do them one at a time. Nice, Emily. Fantastic, guys. Okay, team, let's get it done. Question number 3. Work out 3.5 minus 1 1/6. Give your answer as a mixed number. How do we subtract one mixed number from another? A few steps. We firstly rewrite them as improper fractions. Then we do our subtraction. Then we convert them back to mixed numbers. So how do we write 3.5 as an improper fraction? We do the lead number times by the denominator. 3 times 2 is 6. Then we add the numerator of 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. So we have 7 over 2. Then we minus. 1 times by 6 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so 7 over 6. Next step, we need to rewrite these with a common denominator. We need a number which 2 and 6 both go into. Well, 2 and 6 both go into 6. We can leave the 7 over 6 as it is. Then we can times the 7 by 3 and times the 2 by 3. 7 times by 3 is 21. So we have 21 over 6. Then we minus 7 over 6. Top take away top and leave the bottom. 21 take 7 is 14. So we have 14 over 6. We can now simplify by dividing the top and bottom both by 2. That gives us 7 over 3. Now we can write this as a mixed number. We need to say, okay, how many times does 3 go into 7? Well, the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9. So it goes in twice fully. And then how many bigger is 7 than the multiple of 6 we used? Well, we used 6, so it's 1 bigger. So we get 2 and a third. 2 and a third. That is our answer to question 3A. Good job, guys, if you got it. For some reason, guys, it's saying that there's 0 people on the stream. That should not be the case. Is it saying the same thing for you guys? Does it say there's 0 people on there? I mean, there's people putting stuff in the chat. Okay, 7:31. Sometimes I guess it maybe dips in and out. That's so weird though, eh? Okay, part B. Maybe I just need to go off and go back on. Let's try that. Part B. Answers in the chat for me when you're ready. Yeah, it's looking like we're back. Hey, HNN, good to have you back. Yep, I can see an answer in the chat for... I can see a few answers in the chat for part B. Let's do it. Let's do it. Part B, show that. Oh yeah, I didn't even read the question, guys. It's a show that question. I was too busy focused on the chat. Okay, show that 5 1/4 divided by 2 1/3 is equal to 2 1/4. How do we do this one, guys? Well, just like in the last one, we're going to convert to improper fractions first, do what we need to do, and then convert it back. We're going to do 5 times by 4, which is 20. Add the 1 gives us 21, so 21 over 4. Divided by 2 times by 3 is 6. Add the 1 is 7, so 7 over 6. Next stage, how do we divide? Not 7 over 6, didn't mean to do that. I meant to say 7 over 3. 7 over 3, 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. Then we have over 3. How do we divide one fraction by another? Well, we use the method keep, flip, change. So we're going to have 21 over 4 times by, and then we're going to flip the next fraction, 3 over 7. 21 times by 3 is going to be 63. And then 4 times by 7, that is going to give us 28. Now we can think about simplifying. We can divide the top and bottom both by 7. On the top, we're going to have 9. On the bottom, we're going to have 4. Now, how many times does 4 go into 9? It goes in twice. What's the remainder? The remainder is 1, because 2 times by 4 is 8. So 9 is 1 bigger than 8. And we get 2 1/4 as our answer. Fantastic work, guys. Question 4 up next. This is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. Question number 4. It's a tricky one as well, guys. See, now the stream is saying that there's 350 people on. This is so strange. This one's a good little problem-solving question, guys. Let's see what we can do. Very good little problem-solving question. Okay, it's back now. And honestly, this one's quite tough. This one's quite tough. I can see some answers in the chat. I'm going to give you a bit more time to think about it. Thank you, Sama. And this one has quite a few little techniques involved. Honestly, it is a difficult one. Okay, someone says, can we have a break? We're going to have a break after this question. We're going to have a break after this one, guys. Are we ready? Question 4, guys. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly. Joe says for non-calc, this is low-key a bit horrible. I can't even lie. It is annoying, guys, this one. Question number 4, though, we're going to learn a lot. ABCD is a parallelogram. All of the angles are measured in degrees. Find an expression in terms of E for the sides of angle CAD. CAD. We need to find an expression for this angle here. Give a reason for each stage of your working. Now, what I see when I look at this is that this is an angle in a triangle where we know that this is 3E. So instantly, I think if I can work this one out, then I can do 180 minus this one, and that's going to give this angle here. How can I work out this angle here? Now, a parallelogram is going to have all of the rules of our angles in parallel lines. Now, when we have two parallel lines like this, and we see a diagonal between them, like so, we can think of our alternate angles, corresponding angles, co-interior angles. In this case, I can see a big Z shape coming like this, so we have alternate angles. So basically, this one is E because it's alternate with CAB. So the reason that this is E is because alternate angles are equal. Now that I know that this one is E, I can do 180 minus 3E minus E. We're going to do 180 minus 3E minus E, which is going to become 180 minus 4E. And now we have our angle in terms of E. So our final answer is 180 minus 4E. Any questions, guys? Let me know. We are now 3 hours, pretty much, into our stream. And as I said earlier, we're extending this. We're going to be finishing at 9 p.m., which means, guys, not 9 p.m., sorry, some of you just panicked, 10 p.m. We're going to be finishing at 10 p.m., which means we have 2 hours left. Let me give you a quick rundown on what we're going to be doing for the remainder of the session. For the next hour and 45 minutes, hour and a half, we're going to be finishing off this paper. There's some brilliant questions in here, some topics that I think are likely to come up tomorrow. That's why I selected this paper. Then for the final 15 minutes, half an hour, I'm going to be teaching you some mindset hacks, and I'm going to be teaching you some performance tools that you can use tomorrow, how to calm your nerves, how to reduce anxiety, how to boost energy so that you are feeling good before the exam. Okay, guys, so we're going to have a break. We're going to do a 10-minute break. So I'm going to write it down here. Before you leave, guys, I'm going to ask you for a favor. So I'm going to say 10-min break. Back at 10 minutes. We're going to come back at 8 8:06 p.m. 10-minute break, back at 8:06 p.m. Happy face, because we're on our break. Guys, before you go, you're getting the drift. I'm asking you for a very small favor at each of the intervals. Well, not a favor. The last time I just told you about the free platform. So guys, if you have joined since we had the last break, I have a completely free revision platform that I've not spoken about too much. Basically, this is what it looks like. These are all completely free. A video for every single topic in the course. The reason I'm showing you this now is because you might want to work through, some of you, the grade 8 and 9 topics ahead of tomorrow. You just click in, for example, vector ratio problems, and there is a couple of minute video teaching the topic. So you can make an account using the link which is pinned in the chat. So it says make an account, free revision platform, blah, blah, blah. Or you just type in MyGCSEMaths.com. So that could be some fantastic revision to do ahead of tomorrow, especially if you're aiming for a grade 8, grade 9. It would take you probably about an hour to work through all of the grade 8 and grade 9 topics, if that's what you're aiming for. So it could be really beneficial. It's completely free. If you go on MyGCSEMaths.com, you'll see here, you just click Get Started Now, and it will take you through to make a free account, and it's all super clear for what you do. And little favor I'm going to ask you guys is, if you have a Facebook account, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a quick review on the Facebook, just as a little thank you for this evening's session. I want to keep putting out loads of free content, free live streams, free revision platform. I want to keep as much free as I can. And the only way I can do that is if I can, do things in other ways. So I would really, really appreciate it if you have a Facebook account, you can leave a quick review. So I'm going to put a little QR code on behind me, which you can scan on your phone. And if you have the Facebook app, it should just take you to leave a review. It'll take 2 minutes, and it would really, really help me. Now, importantly, guys, 8 minutes you have a quick break and to maybe leave a quick review. Guys, I'll see you very soon when we get back. We are going to be focusing on question 5 through to the later questions of this paper. Okay, I'm going to say bye for now. And guys, I'll see you very shortly. We are back. That's another breakdown, guys. Another fantastic hour of revision. Talk to me, guys. Can you hear me? Who have we got? Let's get some lightning bolt emojis in the chat just to bring the energy up a little bit. We've now been... God, my voice is going. We are now 3 hours in. 3 hours in. It's been a fantastic session so far. There we go. Choxo's in there with the thunder. Carmel in there. Anna. Aisha. Epic Isha says, hey. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're back. And we're going to keep cracking. We're going to keep cracking. Question 5. I think you're going to get a question like this tomorrow. I think you're going to get asked a question like this tomorrow. Team, let's get moving. Question number 5. Did we have a nice break? If you're not going to do the question, guys, let me know.